afternoon, good morning.
Good morning and
Wherever
welcome.
it is you're listening to this Angelos and Barry podcast. Bronze award winning from the British Podcast Awards. Still dining out on that, aren't we?
Yeah, let me see if I can find this bit of music while you fill.
Oh, I feel... Right, let's see if I can
To
get
be
a good
fair,
one.
you started when I wasn't quite ready. That is a way to fill, I suppose, by...
Bronze award winning. That was... Yeah. Bronze award winning.
Bronze,
What are
if you
you
don't
doing?
mind. I'm just trying to find this thing.
I'm trying to find the music.
Oh, just trying to
Our
find the
accompanying
music.
musical
fuck,
bed.
I forget it. Do you know what? We might have to do without Eternal Triangle today.
No, that's not possible.
Really?
That's not possible.
Well, I tell you what. Let's just start, shall we? And then
See if you can find it along the way.
oh God.
Do it like that.
Oh,
Right.
right.
What's been going on then?
Well, this is the thing. There's been that terrible, terrible news about the Spice.
Oh, yeah, them.
And anyway, they.
I mean, I wasn't sure about them going back on the road.
No, well, I said, because you know I'm very good friends with Jerry Halliwell.
Yes?
I remember, 1920, I remember her from.
When she was 42.
She was about 42 then. And she phones me out, she thought, yeah, a bit common as much she is.
Yeah.
She found out, here, Barry, she's gone. All our sound is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
No, terrible at Croke Park, weren't they, in Dublin?
Yes.
They kicked off their tour. Bloody terrible sound quality, wasn't it? I said, well, have you fucking heard yourselves recently? Yeah.
Oh, that's
telling
not,
me
that's
it's
not very nice, is it? I mean, I had Mel B ring me up.
Mel B, yeah.
Right. And she says to me, yeah, it's true, right? I know Jerry's already spoken to Barry about this, but it's true, the sound quality has been appalling.
Yeah.
And I says, Mel, what do you want me to do about
Yeah.
it? And they said, well, I don't know, maybe you could put out a statement.
Yeah.
And I said, what sort of statement do you want me to put out? You know.
Yeah.
She says, can you just say that the sound quality is not our fault, you know? And I says, well, I'll say that,
She
in the
does lean
statement.
on you,
I know.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
says, look, I will say that in the statement. But whether anybody will take it from me, you know, because I'm not really associated with the band, am I?
No.
And she says, I know you're not associated with the band, but we just need all the help we can get at the moment.
Yeah.
So I says, all right, I'll put the statement out. I says the sound problems at the Spice Girls concerts at Croke Park was bullshit.
Do you want to read that out there?
That's it. I says the sound quality at the Spice Girls concerts at Croke Park was bullshit.
Bullshit.
Right, and that is because some of the wires that they got in was from North Korea.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you weren't too specific.
Yeah, and
just-
also
yeah.
I said, is that true that the wires from North Korea? And they says, no, it's not true.
Right.
I says, well, that's what I'm going to say.
Yes.
Because I think that's so people will understand,
Yeah.
because everybody knows that the quality of wiring over there is substandard.
That's right. Yeah.
It's from the 1950s, I think.
There's some of that gear is, yeah.
Oh, I put this statement out, and
merry hell,
kicked
what a
up
kick.
right
Oh,
stink.
stink.
Yeah.
Oh, stink.
First of all, I've got people saying, what have you got to do with it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just, I'm just doing what I can.
Can,
you
yeah,
know,
helping out sort of thing.
And I'm just there to provide an emotional support, really.
Well, I just say this, that I am responsible for their dance routine.
I know you are.
And
Done a good job with them.
thank you so much. It's nice to be appreciated.
Yes.
Some time ago, we got together in a big lock-up near North Wembley to rehearse. They all turn up in their chauffeur-driven car to rehearse the routines. They pooh-poohed some of the people. Brian Johnson, who was the one that did the Brian Dance Connection? Brian Rogers Dance Connection.
He wasn't.
Any of them people off the dancing shows were all booted out.
What's it called? What were the ones that used to dance on top of the
Pants
people? And there was another.
Legs and Co.
Legs and Co.
I used to choreograph for them.
I
years
know
ago.
you did.
Anyway, the Spice Girls turn up, and they don't call them the Spice for nothing.
No.
Jerry Halliwell had an awful lot of spice the night before.
Well,
She'd had a curry.
Okay.
I don't know where you can tell where this is going.
I don't know where it's going.
So
they were doing you getting them to do the splits.
Yeah, you see my choreography. No surprises there.
Yeah, I know. You demand a lot from people.
Oh, I do. So I said, girls, can we warm up, please? Can we warm up? There's a little bit of stretching, a little bit of badinage.
A little bit like... And you're saying, please get that out of the way.
I said, just get all this out of the way now, you know, and all that. Okay. And so then I said, let's all gather in. We all got in the middle, and Sporty let one go. I ignored it, you know. And
she had a Thai curry.
She'd had a Thai curry. She shook it out of her Adidas trousers. Yeah. And I said, right, girls.
Stop that now.
So I'm like, now, girls, can we just... baby,
What's she been
please.
On?
Oh, well, the night before, she's had a great big shepherd's pie.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because she's more British than the others.
Yeah.
I said, okay, okay.
That's the end of it now.
Ladies.
That's the end of it.
That is the end of it. Now, what we have in front of us, oh, Christ. Look, you know.
That's Mel B.
Mel B.
What's she been on?
Smell B, I call her.
She's had a Mexican.
She's had all the tacos and all that.
Chilies.
I said, ladies, please, can we've got a lot... Oh, Mel, what's the matter with you? So she cannot go to the toilet. She's
go to the toilet.
So then we have to sit around.
Have a clear out.
They come back. And
all comfortable now?
Yeah, and then the other one, and then as baby goes, I need the toilet. I said, I do what, for a poo? She goes, no. I've done that. Two becomes one. Two becomes one.
Very
so she had to go for a number one, you see.
I see.
So she got about half an hour's gone by now. I said,
wasting your own time. You're the one who've got to go out in front of 60,000 people at Croke Park. Right.
So anyway, eventually we get down to this thing. The only one who hasn't been for a tom tit is Sporty.
Right, but she's backed up.
She's fully backed up. She's had the time. She has been for days. Yeah.
That's why she had the curry.
Yeah, so anyway.
The Thai curry.
We are stretching away. I said to her, well, do you want to go? No. Sorry. I said, all right, can we stretch, ladies? Nothing. Clean as a whistle.
Okay, right, yeah.
It's all gone.
Nothing.
I put on a little bit of music just to get us sort of, just to get us going with the whole thing, just to warm up.
One of their songs.
Yeah, one of their songs is what I thought I'd do, and it's not playing, but there you are. So just
one of their earlier songs.
Just okay, girls, and we go. I am stretching out for Barry's dance routine. I've been to the toilet. I spent a couple of hours curling one off in that latrine. I come back in the room. I come back too soon. I haven't wiped me ass.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. They got no class,
No. Well, they do everything in a rush. That's...
in a rush, don't they? So anyway,
it's a problem because it's everything is done in a rush with that lot.
Yeah,
and they don't have no attention to detail.
So to cut long story short, we start the dance routine and she shit herself.
Okay. Which one, Mel?
No, Mel.
Dear. What did you say?
I said,
"Let's." You embarrassed?
I was embarrassed for her. I just said, let's just forget it. Yeah. So we called rehearsals to a halt.
Right. Did you say, all right, I'll just stay in the corner, please. I'll try and get the mop.
That's it. That's what I've done.
Scrapes it up with some paper.
I did.
Put it in the bin, and then you got the mop, and you give it a little bit of Dettol down.
I did. I was embarrassed.
I'm sure they were all very embarrassed, actually.
Well, of course they were.
Yeah, you would be, wouldn't you? You'd be a monster not to get embarrassed by that.
You'd be a monster not to get
Oh, dear. Well, I had a similar thing with Take That.
Choreographing them?
I was choreographing them.
Yeah.
I got the lads all in the room, the dance choreography.
The choreography room, yes.
Studio. I says, okay, guys, so the tour kicks off in a couple of days.
Yeah, you talk like that, don't you?
Yeah. Look, we all know we're not young men anymore. So the emphasis is going to be on stretching. All right. Okay. So that is what we want to be doing because, as we all know, we can't stretch cold muscles. So let's get ourselves warmed up.
You're good like that, yeah.
Yeah, up on tippy toes. Give it just like run on the spot and all that. And of course, they start running on the spot.
Oh,
right,
okay.
and out left-hand side of the room.
Yeah.
All right, I said,
Gary?
I let it go. I says, yeah, very good.
You let it go?
No, I didn't let it go.
Oh, someone else
no,
did. Yeah.
It was
Mark.
Mark,
The little one.
The little one. And he says, sorry, Angelos, sorry.
Yeah.
I says, don't worry, Mark. Just, let's come on, guys, because we're like nearly 50 years old, aren't we?
Guys, clock's ticking.
Clock's ticking, guys. Yeah. Okay, all right. Keep running on the spot. Keep running on the spot. Says, it's running on the spot. Like a minute goes past. I'm like, okay, Howard, all right, mate. It's very funny. We all think that's hilarious. We're nearly 50 years old, guys. Okay, I just want to emphasise that. We've got to go out on tour.
Yeah,
and
punishing.
It's a long tour, guys, and it's your own time you're wasting.
Right, sure.
Oh, all right. So a bit more running on the spot. And sure enough, 30 seconds later. I'm like, Gary, that's obviously impressive. You can fart in 3 or 4 notes. You're a musical man.
He's a genius, musical genius.
Yeah, you're a genius, right? Yeah. But come on. We've got the tour. It's got to start. We've got to start, doing all the stretching.
Right.
So they start stretching. I says, right, go down in the splits.
Right.
And they go, and Mark can't really do the splits.
No.
Barlow can't really do the splits.
Right.
They just sort of stretch as much as he can. But Howard, to his credit, he can do the splits.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's just good. So he's gone down into the splits. I said, very good, Howard. That is excellent. Guys, Mark, Gary, have a look at Howard, please. And that's really what I'd like you to do. But I understand if you can't get... that's difficult. It's difficult. Yeah. He's from a dancing background. Anyway, he gets up from the splits, right? And there's Mark and there's Gary. And without, it was definitely happened, this.
Right.
There's a big, smudge on the floor.
Oh,
okay? Right? Yeah. Just a little skid mark.
Yeah. And Pineapple very particular about their floors.
Yeah. And I looked at it, and he's looked at it. And I looked at him, and I didn't say anything to him, right? And he just he went bright red, right?
Oh, God.
And I looked across at Gary, and he's starting to go like this. I said, Gary, don't do that. And Mark's going, he's actually saying, look at that on the floor. I says, Mark, don't look at that on the floor, please. Howard has done that, and he's very embarrassed by it, okay? Yeah. I said, actually, the 3 of you, Howard, I said, Howard, you go and wipe your bum, right? You two go and sit over there for a moment.
Right,
please.
okay,
Right,
please, if you don't mind.
For a minute. Right, and I get a bit of paper and I scrape it up.
Right,
off the floor.
Embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing. Yeah. And I says, I'll phone for. I says, reception, can you bring a mop and a bucket, please? And they bring that in. And I said, don't worry, Howard, it happens.
Yeah, it does.
And I just put a bit of Dettol down and just clean it up, send it back like that. And I had to take Gary and Mark to one side and say, look, guys, you can't do the split. All right, he smudged the floor, right? Yeah. But you can't do that. Okay, and I don't want either of you taking a piss out of him. Yeah, having done that. Okay, because this is a long tour, and we don't want to be falling out now already. Of course. Okay, so just bear that in mind, guys.
It sets a precedent.
Yeah, because I think it should set a precedent.
What would happen if you got a comedian in a room, you opened their Amazon account, and you look back at everything they've ever bought on that website? Well, this.
Because I was consuming so much peanut butter, I decided to try and get a powdered version that wasn't as fattening.
Your handwriting can change your life.
I regret this book.
Keep Calm and Love Dom Jolly novelty keyring and fridge magnets.
Yeah, I love that. I do have that on my fridge.
£4 you spent on that.
That's My Mate Bought a Toaster, available now from Great Big Al.
Well, I remember when I was on tour, you remember Relight My Fire?
Well, yeah, but I'd take that.
It was based on a terrible incident lighting a fart round his pucker pie ring.
Really?
Yeah, disgusting.
On the coach.
And on the coach and that, and I went oi 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 oi, and it set fire to one of the antimacassars on the back of the seat.
You just done your little announcement at the front of the coach, didn't you?
This is
your
what
microphone.
I do when I go on tour with a band. For example, take that, No, Boyzone, I started it. Boom, 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 boom. Guys, Barry here. They're at the front of the thing now. All I want to say is we're pulling into Rotterdam. Remember the dance moves. Try not to shit yourselves.
No, that's it.
If your back's up, make sure you go before the show.
Yeah.
So
if you need some pills, come and get them from you.
Get them. Ronan Keating goes to me. I'd hear about him. What about the birds? There won't be no birds tonight. Yeah. Get a good night's sleep.
Long tour, because it's a long tour.
It's a long tour. They were sneaking out trying to get the birds.
Is it?
And what I found was, I wouldn't tell my wife this, but what was wonderful was any of their cast-offs would come and knock in on my room. Yeah. And I had that, that kimono with the dragon on the back, that red silk thing. Yeah. And they'd come to the door and the real...
Yeah, right, the real cast-offs.
The real cast-offs, And I'd say, not for me, really.
No.
But you filled your boots, didn't you, when you was on tour? I
went on tour with, not Boyzone, the other one, Westlife.
Westlife. Oh,
yeah, and I would stand at the front of the bus.
Yeah, do your announcement.
Hello, Westlife. This is Angelos of Perfume speaking here at the front of the bus. We are now going down the M1 to Milton Keynes Bowl.
That's it.
And if you look out on your left, you'll see them cows that are in the field there. Yeah. Them are made of stone, and they've been here for some time. Yeah. When we go through the roundabout system of Milton Keynes, I'd like you all to be seated on the bus and strapped in with a seatbelt. Because if you fall over and all that muck, then we'll be buggered. Because it's a long tour. It's a long tour, and we don't want to start off on the negative way.
But you fell out, didn't you?
I fell out terribly.
What? Because you were too draconian.
I was a taskmaster.
Yeah.
I wanted them here at this point.
Disciplinarian.
I think you have to keep these people in check. Right, and they don't like it when you don't keep them. They don't like it. They don't like being disciplined. And that's why they've broke up now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because I was the linchpin, really. I held them together.
Well, there you are, you see. It's no wonder that British pop music's in the state that it is. Mm. But, good luck to the Spice Girls.
She's always ringing me up, that Mel one.
Oh, yeah. Since she split up with that fella. Which one, the sporty one or the other one, the scary?
Mel B.
Which one's that, the scary one?
Yeah, she's always ringing me up. I says, Mel, I'm with the best one in the world, my sweet, sweet angel. Yeah. I don't really know you.
No.
I know you've got my number and what have you, but, she says, yeah, but you're such a good shoulder to cry on, God. I says, yeah, all right, okay, but... you must have other people in your life that you know better than me,
of course. Yeah.
And she says, no, the fact that I don't know you very well, it means I can be very candid with you, very open.
Open up.
Yeah. And I says, all right, what do you want to talk about? Yeah. And she starts telling me all this stuff about, how she's struggling with midlife. And,
God, yeah.
She says, do I get married again and do I not? And I says again, Mel, look.
Yeah, fuck all about
I'm not
that
I'm not a counsellor. I'm not qualified to do this.
Right,
Yeah. She says, yeah, but if you were me, if you was in my position.
Oh, God, what do you say? Pull up a chair.
And I says, well, if I was in your position, I don't know. I mean, it's very hard for me to say that because I'm not in your position, Yeah. I'm on here, down the other end of the phone, And she says, yeah, but if you was in my position.
Yes.
And I says, I don't know, Mel. I don't know. I couldn't get rid of her. You know, she's on the phone for about an hour and a half asking my advice and things that I just not qualified to give. I would have felt wrong if I'd have given her advice.
I had a similar thing. Some years ago, I met Dolly Chops.
Lovejoy. Yeah.
Ian McShane.
We're all good mates with him now.
Well, sort of,
yeah.
But he's got in touch with me. He's gone, oh, Barry, do you remember I met you at a charity football match, wasn't it, Sudbury Court?
Okay, you weren't playing in that, were you?
No, I was doing the orange squash, handing it out sort of thing. We struck up a friendship of sorts.
Yeah, no, casual acquaintance.
Of sorts.
Yeah, nothing heavy.
Ian McShane gets in touch with me, old Dolly Chops, and he goes, hello, is that Barry? You know.
Well, how long age is that, 15 years later?
Yeah, I went, oh, me? So I got right number. Yeah, you was handing out the orange squash at a charity football match.
Was it 1995?
It was a bloody long time ago, you know. And there's a couple of other showbiz people was on there. At that time, Wincy Willis.
Oh, yeah.
Max off of Mind Your Language.
Yes, and Mr. Motivate.
Mr. Motivate. All the big stars.
Of the time.
Anyway, old Dolly Shots, he says, it's been recommended I have keyhole surgery on my heart, triple bypass. I said, the fuck do I know about that? He goes, I just want a second opinion. I said, from me? From me? I know nothing about it. I'm an ex-greengrocer from West Watford.
And when he says, and what would he say? Like, no, but if he was in my shoes.
Yeah, and he's gone, well, basically the aorta needs widening slightly, stents put in around it. I said, Ian, with the best will in the world, I can tell you about Brussels sprouts. I know the current... Oh, I just thought you might know.
It's amazing how they get the wrong end of the stick, these people. Yeah.
I mean, who was it who phoned you wanted to know about the taxation and the world economic?
It was, what's his name?
John Harvey Jones?
No, it wasn't him. No. It was...
Dominic Raab?
No, it wasn't him. It was the one off of... the stuff in the morning, Dominic
Littlewood.
Yeah, Littlewood.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's a genius.
He's rung me up and says, Angelos, I've got this tax bill, right?
And, went,
and I says, right.
I
said, first of all, how have you got my number?
Well, that's it.
Right. He says, well, we met at Soho House.
Did we? Well,
and
you've never been there.
I says, mate, at the most, I've been outside the front door having a fag.
That's right. Yeah.
He says, I definitely met you there, and we had a fag outside. I said, all right, fair enough, no problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said, I thought we got on really well. I says, I'm like going, I don't want to embarrass the bloke.
No,
I'm going, I remember. Really good mates, you know.
Yeah.
And he's gone, listen, so I've got this tax bill. I'm saying, okay, all right. And he says, what do I do about it? I says, well, what's the problem with it? You know? But I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, I haven't got I haven't paid tax in my life, you know. And he says, I don't know whether to like offset it for next year or pay the full lot up front now. I'm going, Dominic. All right. Thanks for thinking of me. Yeah. This problem, but I don't know what you should do about this. Right. He says, but if you was in my shoes,
right.
I says, I don't know. I've never been in that position. It's and he just wouldn't let it go. And he's going, well, come on, give me advice, Right. I says, I don't know what you should do.
Yeah.
I don't know what your situation is.
He said, what do you want, money? What do you want?
And he says, well, what do you want? He says, you're a waste of time, Angelos. I said, mate, I didn't. You rang me. You rang me. This has nothing to do with me.
I was the same with Professor Brian fucking Cox.
Yes.
He phones me up. He says he wants to know the latest thinking on quantum physics and the chances that Mars can be colonised.
Well, right.
In the next, it was quite specific, 17 years.
What did you say?
Well, first of all, I went, how did you get my number?
Yeah, he said off the internet.
And I'm gone, is it Professor Brian Cox? He goes, yes, that funny voice.
That's right. Unmistakable Brian Cox. From Manchester, isn't
it? And so I went, all right, okay. What was the question again? Something to do with physics? He goes, quantum physics. I went, yeah. And he goes, can Mars be colonised? I don't know what colonised means, if you like, So then Margaret's going, dinner's
Who is
ready.
it? Who is it?
Yeah, I go, Professor Brian Cox.
What,
I
for telly?
yeah, I go, Brian, Mr. Cox, Professor.
Tennis ready.
She's just told me cheese on toast. I'm going to have to go. Right. You know, plus Downton was on.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So he goes, please tell me, you know, we got to know that we might have to colonise a different... I said, oh, don't bother me now.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
bother. I shut the phone
Shut
down.
the phone down. Yeah,
Fucking idiot.
I had something very, very similar.
Go on.
By Dr. Robert Winston rings me up, right?
What do you want to know about?
Well, first of all, I says, "How did you get my number?"
Of course,
you know,
yeah.
and he's gone. Oh no, we met a function. We met at Lord's.
You
I
never
said,
been to
we met at Lord's.
Lord's? Prick.
I said, what do you mean Lord's?
Stupid mustachioed prick.
I said, what? The cricket place?
Yeah.
He went, yeah. We were at Lord playing a match together. I said, mate, you're pissed.
Yeah,
right?
he probably was.
And he says, no, it's definitely you. That's how I got you. How else do you think I could get your number?
Yeah.
I said, well, you've got me there, right? But I'm thinking secretly maybe the internet, I don't know, or
Yeah,
the government,
who knows?
you know.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, he's rung me up and he's gone, Angelos, are you busy? I says, well, yeah, I'm about to put a bet on.
Yeah, of course,
Right?
yeah.
He goes, well, look, I'm doing research on IVF, right?
Yeah.
And I says, I'm like, I'm saying, is that anything like HGV, right? And he goes, no, it's like it's artificial insemination.
You went, what?
And I said, what's that? Aliens? Is it? Right? And
Yeah.
And he's gone, no, it's not aliens,
Yeah.
right? It's to do with like sticking eggs and stuff in people, right, to make babies. And I'm going, hold on a minute. This does sound like this sounds like bunkum.
Yeah,
You know,
bunkum, yeah.
Yeah, I says it's
Spunkum.
I says this is bunkum,
Spunkum.
right? And he goes, no, it's not bunkum, right? And I says, all right, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
He says, well, do you think IVF should still be funded on the NHS, or should people that can afford to pay for it privately?
Weighty issues, yeah.
I says, mate, I've got to put
Yankee.
£2 on the 330 at Wincanton.
Yeah, don't
right?
bother me with this bullshit.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? And he says, well, what do you think?
Oh, he's
I says, you're getting a bit pushy.
Yeah.
Right? I says, maybe the NHS should pay for it. He says, yes, but do you think the NHS should be paying for how many rounds?
God.
I says, I don't know. Like one
yeah.
round? He says, well, that's a bit stingy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I says, all right, so what do you want me to say? You know, you like putting words in my mouth. In the
Yeah.
end, I said, Robert, it's been lovely,
Yeah.
but please don't call me again, you know.
Let me tell you something. Robert Winston would never phone me about that, because you remember when I had that artificial insemination business? I was operating from a garage
You
down
used to do it.
by the
Yeah.
viaduct.
That's it.
You could go and... Anyway,
You had your freezer in there.
I had my
all the
freezer
eggs
in there, and a bloke comes in, and I'd cut a couple of razzles, knock one out,
that's
and
it.
the lady comes in and all that.
yes.
It wasn't the cleanest of places, you know, I was inseminating. I didn't have the first fucking clue what to
You
do.
didn't know what you're doing.
People would come and go, well, you know, it's my last option. I'd be squirting this thing. It went all over.
Turkey based.
It went all over the place.
Yeah.
It was all...
You used a water pistol.
I used a water pistol. I'd say,
Yeah.
come in here, love. That's
Yeah.
it. Up on there. Ching, 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 ching. I had
Insemination.
insemination. It was the viaduct next to Quick
Halfords.
Fits. Oh, God, hold on. Let's try
Yeah,
again,
try
because
again.
it was so promising. That
It was good.
I was into examination. It was next door to Watford Station. I used to get people coming in to me.
In a shop.
They wanted to be squirted with sperm to have a baby. Hop on the couch. Don't be a slouch. I'll ram it up your bottom.
Up the wrong way.
I
don't know what I'm doing.
I was rotten.
Good success. Well, that's the reason why Winston wouldn't ring you, I suppose.
Well, of course not. He knew I was a maverick in that way.
He's something else, that Winston.
Oh, he's something else.
I've met him a few times now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's quite a show off.
Is he?
Oh yeah, it really is a show off, right? So he's come up to me in this do we was at. Right?
Oh yeah, not at Lord's.
No, we wasn't at Lord's, right? I don't think he's even been to Lord's.
No,
right?
bullshit.
No, we was in we was at Thorpe Park, right?
Thorpe Park, yeah.
He's come up to me and he's tapped me on the shoulder, right?
Yeah.
He's tapped me on the shoulder. I says, "Oh, it's you, is it, Robert Winston?"
Yeah.
He went, "Yeah, it's me." I says,
I
says, "What are you doing here?" He says, "Me? I'm here with my family." I says, "Are you?" He says, "Yeah, we've got the golden ticket pass. Like we can go on any ride we like." Actually,
Flash Herbert.
I'm like, "So?"
Yeah.
He says, "Well, it means we can get quick access to any ride we want to get on." I went, "All right. So what?" He says, "Because I work, because I'm a doctor. They give it to me for free."
Oh God.
I says, "All right."
It's not what you know. It's who you know.
I says, "Well, I'm just having a nice day. I don't care."
Yeah, that's right.
And he's gone, "How did you get here?" I says, "I come on the train, and then I walked from the station." And he went, "Oh right, okay." And I knew what he wanted.
Well,
He's going. He wants me to say, "How did you get here, Robert?"
Yeah, of course.
And he goes, I says, "Oh, okay. How did you get here, Robert?" He went, "Oh, I come in my Porsche."
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I come in my Porsche. I says, "How do you get your family in a Porsche?"
Yeah.
And he's like, he's gone.
Yeah.
It's one of them like big Porsches.
Yeah,
and I'm
bullshit,
thinking
sir.
that isn't true. I said, and I thought that's not true. You haven't come in it, right? And I said, "Let's see this golden ticket thing, then.
of course,
You've got.
yeah,
Let's see it. Let's have a go." He says, and he went to tap his trousers and pockets, and he goes, "Oh, I can't find it. I think maybe I've dropped it, something like that, you know."
Yeah.
And I says, "Oh yeah, righto."
Yeah,
Anyway, I see him like 5 minutes later. Do the queue for the roller coaster, right? And he's in the big queue, and he's getting really pissed off. And he's looking at his watch. I says, "Oh, you got the golden ticket, have you?"
Yeah.
Right? And he went, "Yeah, I said I lost it. I've lost."
He's a right bullshit.
Yeah, he's a liar. And he's a show off.
I saw him at Harrow Leisure Centre, right?
Yeah.
I'm queuing up and all that, and I had the grandkids with me, and we was going to go swimming and that.
Yeah.
And they cut up the 2 lanes, lane swimming, round about that.
Right.
And I see Robert Winston there, and I knew him immediately. He'd turn up in his... it's not a Porsche, it's a fucking Vauxhall Marine, but it's Sperm 1. It's got his number plate. He's come in, and he's joined a slightly different queue. I said, "Excuse me." And he said, "All right, Baz." I said, "No, never mind all that."
Baz.
I says, "Get to the back there. You know that the lane's swimming now. There's not a lot of room. Don't push in, 'cause they don't let people in." He goes, "Oh, no, I've got a leisure pass. It's called Leisure Plus," he goes.
What?
I've never heard of that.
I think what to do that.
No, they don't, Harrow.
Harrow.
And he goes, "Yeah, Leisure Plus. I'm entitled to swimming off peak hours." He goes,
yeah.
"All right.
Okay, fair. That's not like anyone is.
He goes, "There's a steam room." I didn't even know there's a steam room that he's got exclusive access to. And he's allowed to...
His steam room?
The steam room.
So he's claiming he's the only one allowed in it?
with a Leisure Plus card. I've never
heard of
and
Leisure
he
Plus
goes,
card.
"I'm also allowed to use the gym at off-peak hours."
Well, anyone's allowed to use that.
I said, "Robert, I don't believe you."
Yeah.
And the queues are all looking at him and all that. And I said, "Can I see it?" He goes, as you say, taps his pockets.
Yeah.
Claims he's left it in Sperm 1, you know. So he's gone, "Oh, no. But they know me here." Yeah. I looked at the woman behind the counter. She just shrugged her shoulders.
I've never met him before in my life.
He's a bullshit.
He's a liar.
Isn't he?
He's an absolute liar. Mind you, that Brian Cox is the same.
Oh, don't go on.
Yeah, no, he's like, you know, he claims he's like done all sorts of things. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's like a show off, but in a different way.
Yeah,
about
what he's done.
Yeah.
His
So I
trees
was sat with him the other day.
Where was you?
We
Starburst Cafe.
No, we wasn't there because he says I'm not going to go in here because it takes the piss out of space. You know, I'm like, oh, I says grow up, right?
Yeah.
Right. I says grow up. It's just a name for a cafe.
That's it.
Taking the piss out of space. He's very sensitive though.
Prick.
Right.
Yeah.
And I says, where are you going to park? I says, where are you going to park your car in?
Yeah.
And he says, in the space, you know. I says, oh yeah, very funny, you know. And he said, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I said, in the spaceman, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And he
it.
went, look, I've told you about this. Like, don't take the piss out of space.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I'm not. I said, I'm not taking the piss out of space. You twat. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
You know, not everything where you just make a joke of space is like taking a piss out of it.
You're always making jokes about space.
I'm always making jokes about
what
space.
What planet are you on,
yeah,
mate?
I'm always making jokes about NASA, like spaceships,
just
rockets.
What you do.
It's like I've got loads of material on it.
Very sensitive about space, isn't he?
It's like you can't make these jokes.
Jokes about space.
Like, it's not racist. Like, it's just like it's about space, and you aren't the only person that can talk about space. You know?
Yeah, you're allowed to make.
There's loads of other people that can talk about space.
Yeah, of course.
That bloke with the monocle, he used to talk about space.
Patrick Moore, yeah. Dr. Magnus Payne.
Exactly, you're not the only one. All right, so just lay off with that. You know,
I was
very
with him,
sensitive.
Right? I was with him, and I said, "Oh, can I make a joke of space? Was that alien to you?" He went, "Look,
that's enough of that.
That's enough." But it's very sensitive
boy.
About space,
yeah.
You know? And I said, "Oh God, going out here, there's no atmosphere." And he went, "Oh, look, mate, you know, it's a void, you know."
It's got now that if you mention anything that is space related, he's just like, excuse me, okay, just because I want to tell you about space and that.
Yeah.
You just think, oh, give it a rest. So I've had to stop.
Can't say nothing nowadays.
I've had to stop seeing him.
Yeah,
it's just like it's too difficult. It's like he's got a hair trigger.
He's got
a hair trigger about space. Stars and the planets and all that. Anyway, guys, listen, come to the show next week at the Adderbelly on the 7th of June, 9th of June. We have a right old time of it.
And we wrote a little song. Do you want to do the song that we wrote? This is about coming next week to Sis.
Come on now, come now. Come to the Underbelly on the June the 7th at 9:15. Me and Barry will be there, and you can feel our presence. We'll be doing our show for you and you and you and you and all. Everyone's welcome except the people that are too tall. Okay?
Yeah.
So I think that's clear.
And yes, sir, I can boogie. Yeah. Please come to the Underbelly. It will be very friendly. We don't want Robert Winston or Professor Cox. We don't want them to come. Just want the usual guys, girls and jocks to have a lot of fun. Sit on your bum and watch the show for an hour.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll go out. No need to be sour.
No, that's right. So we'll see you there.
We'll see you there.
We love you all.